Meet the computer you can talk to. With Copilot on Windows, working, creating, and collaborating is as easy as talking. Got writer's block? Share your screen with Copilot Vision to help spark inspiration, and use Copilot Voice to have a conversation and brainstorm ideas. Or maybe you need some tech help. With Copilot Vision, Copilot sees what you see. Let Copilot talk you through step-by-step guidance so you can master new apps, games, and skills faster. Try now at windows.com/Copilot.
Hi, I'm here to pick up my son Milo.
There's no Milo here.
Who picked up my son from school?
Streaming only on Peacock.
I'm gonna need the name of everyone that could have a connection.
You don't understand. It was just the 5 of us.
So this was all planned.
What are you gonna do? I will do whatever it takes to get my son back.
I honestly didn't see this coming. These nice people killing each other.
All Her Fault. A new series streaming now only on Peacock.
Welcome back to The Case For with Chris Cox, the pretend procedural, which is set not in the court of last resort, but rather the court of the Walt Disney World Resort. And normally, this is the podcast where theme park expert Len Testa and mind reader Chris Cox regularly debate about some of the more trivial aspects of vacationing in Orlando. What makes visiting here a complete joy or an absolute misery? But on this week's show, well, I, the less than honorable James Robespierre Hill, along with Len Testa and Chris Cox, we're going to be sharing the emails that you sent in, commenting on cases that we previously discussed on this podcast. And speaking of emails, today's show is actually coming to you from the mailroom here at the court of the Disney World Resort. And though at the moment I seem to be the only one on hand here for this recording, I wonder what became of Len and Chris. Oh, wait. Oh, here they come. Where are you guys? How long it took you so long? You got my memo, right?
I did, Jim, but your handwriting was so bad that I mistook mailroom for men's room and have been having some really uncomfortable conversations with people with my recording equipment over there.
All right. Sorry about that. I will make an effort in the future to improve my handwriting skills.
And have you actually been in that space before? The walls of the men's room were covered with all sorts of horrible graffiti. Most of it pretty much illegible.
Well, as I just told Len, I will work on improving my handwriting.
Yeah, maybe we're going to get to the emails now.
Okay.
Please, let's get to the emails.
All right. So, let's start with emails discussing our show about park hopping. And let's see. We have a letter here from Tim Kempery. Which of you would like to read this?
I love, by the way, the artifice of people assuming we've got emails and letters. These are your social media comments. But I like the idea that Jim has printed them all out, put them in envelopes, which he is now opening and unfurling before us.
An owl has delivered this scroll on which Tim has said...
Look at the paper cuts, okay? All right.
Suddenly that letter opener is tax deductible.
Okay. So Tim says, we are park hoppers and always have been. We typically rope drop whatever park we plan for and then go back to our hotel early afternoon to get in the pool. We then go back for the evening after dinner, generally go to the park that is close to whatever we plan on, wherever we plan on dining. That works. However, as Len pointed out, if we had short trips, we typically skip park hopping. Any thoughts?
Yeah, this is exactly what I would do it.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly that. I think there's a lot of people have got in touch, and it is so much time dependent. There was a great little message from Claudia Rossani, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, on the Instagram, who says she loves the show concept. Thanks, Claudia. I do like a nice compliment at the start of any message. And she, although annoyingly, agrees with Len. She says, even though I know, furious. Even though I 100% get the point of UK holidays to Orlando being longer, as she too lives in the UK, we're probably friends. Surely this is more reason not to have to rush around and park hop to fit it in. It's included in the 14-day ticket we can purchase, so it's not a cost that we have to consider. But I think the point she makes is that actually the idea of you over a longer time, park hopping maybe, as I see it, I'm like, I can jump here and there. Actually, I should maybe look at that idea we had of slowing down more and going, great, I'm here for longer, so this whole day is going to be in this park, and I'm not going to rush, and I'm going to take my time and take in everything.
It's funny you mentioned that because Margaret Griffin wrote in with the same thing. She says, I'm team park hopper, but if it's a family's first visit to Disney and they have 4 full days for the parks, I can understand suggesting not park hopping. But if you've been to the parks multiple times and you know what's in each park and you know certain things that you want to do every time and certain things you just want to do occasionally, then park hopping is definitely the way to go. And Margaret says that even if she's doing a short 4-night trip, she's going to park hop. That's just me. Yeah, I would definitely do that. Yeah.
Yeah, Belle Dreaming said slightly differently, but she likes staying at the boardwalk or an Epcot area because then she's got the options of park hopping with 2 parks, which I think is a really good point. And also, if there's a festival at Epcot, she can just pop in for a quick booth or 2 for some food. And makes a good point about if the weather's not so great, it gives you more options of where you're going to go because of what attractions are going to be open at a certain park based on weather.
Interesting.
I love that she adds in the thing there about transportation, because she says having to bus back and forth eats up a lot of time, so it's only worth it if you're at the boardwalk area. Because this actually touches on the last couple of shows that we've done around deluxe resorts and after hours parties, right? So the ability to pop into one resort, to one park, and then walk to another is goes back to what we just said about deluxe resorts. Yeah, so that's fantastic. That's a great comment.
Now, Ryan1 chimed in when he says that...
the first of all the Ryans.
There we go. The Ryan the first.
The original Ryan. Okay. Yeah.
When he says that when we have park hoppers, we don't actually park up a lot, except for longer trips. Ironically, when we can swap things, when we keep things more relaxed, I feel like trying to squeeze more than one park into a single day on a shorter trip shortchanges both parks. So I would push not getting park hoppers for shorter trips and potentially opting actually to skip a park instead, and getting the park hoppers only for longer trips. But then again, this is an argument for doing it now, the way that serves one's family.
We did a show on rope dropping, and Ren Girl 40 wrote in with, "I've never rope dropped because sleep." Yes. Especially, Chris, you're not there yet, but when your girls become teenagers, it's going to be impossible to get them up before and at the door before 11 a.m. I've done it with Hannah. I can't tell you how many times. And now I just plan on not rope tripping anything. And if I need to pay for a Premier Pass or, Lightning Lane, I'll do that instead.
Basically, you're like, how much do I have to pay not to have to wake up a teenager?
Oh,
yeah,
no.
Exactly. And how would you like that payment?
Very true. Very true.
I think a lot of people got in touch. Ginger Snaps, and then a lot of numbers after her name, said similarly about staying in an Epcot resort. That feels like the best hub for park hopping.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And also rope dropping, because you're double whammying. And of course, with your Epcot rope drop from the Epcot Resort, you've got the option of rope dropping Remy by entering through International Gateway.
Okay. OB Nurse, on the other hand, she says, I tend to hop more when I am solo. I think because I tend to have less of an agenda and kind of, flit around more freely. And I think my tendency to hop or not hop also depends on my resort location. Personally, sometimes, proximity sometimes makes it a chore or, quite easy to pop, from my resort in between parks. And I'm probably the least inclined to hop when I'm at the All-Star, and most inclined when I'm over in the Echo Lake area.
Yeah. Okay. That's a great comment. Again, it comes back to have the deluxes having a closer proximity. It's funny, Jim, you're reading this, and I was thinking maybe we should do a pros and cons of solo trips to Disney or Universal theme parks. And then I thought, who's going to take the no side to that? Because I think we would all.
Just me can do what I want when I want. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh no, okay. The family. What will we do? Yeah,
it's amazing actually that I constantly forget when often I'll travel and tour on my own and not have the family with me, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll pop to. I was doing shows in St. Petersburg. I could pop to Universal for a day before the show. I'll do that. And suddenly, every time I'm with and then I'm like, oh, well, I'll get paid for Express. It's not much. But then suddenly I'm timesing everything by 4 and go like, oh, yeah, it all quickly adds up.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's the times 4 takes a lot of flexibility out of the plans.
In fact, on this note, Don's got in touch, who said that they're pro park hopper and they like the flexibility, but mentioned that when they're with small kids or in their travel party of more people, there aren't as many things to do in the parks for the smaller kids. So park hopping means that they'll split up as a group to keep everyone happy. The younger kids can go back to the pool or head over to Magic Kingdom to go on Dumbo or Barnstormer, and then we'll meet their rest of their family at Hollywood Studios later, or finish up at Epcot for dinner.
That's actually a great tip for multi-generational families, where you can have the kids go do a certain thing, or have, two large groups, one large group split up into 2 smaller groups, and everyone can go their own way for a little bit. I love that idea. That's fantastic.
And Jennifer B, again, another vote for, she says, I used to park hop, but now I've been converted to 1 park per day for longer trips. I can usually add more days to a ticket versus adding hopper. And, I've done a few weekend trips recently where I had a 1-day park hopper, so I could hit my favorites. But, I paired that with a party ticket on another day, and pros and cons for both. In fact, interesting, she mentions party tickets because we just did a show where you 2 gentlemen argued the pros and cons of, after-hours hard ticket events, and would love to also see folks' feedback on that.
Oh yeah, that's amazing. There's another comment from Ryan 1, and it's this. If you think of Walt,
still the first of all the Ryans,
still the first of all the Ryans, the Ryan Premier, if you will. If you think of Walt Disney World or Universal Orlando as just, quote, the parks, then taking a midday break or hopping would seem like a waste of time. But for Ryan's family, Walt Disney World is the whole experience. It's the escapism, which is partly why even if they've got a car on a stay for a couple of years ago, they ended up just using the buses. So yeah, that makes sense. It's the entire holistic experience of being in Walt Disney World. Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah. Walking, he says, goes on to say the walking the grounds of the resort, grabbing a coffee at the resort Starbucks or Joffrey's or whatever, that's part of the experience. And I will point out that Laurel and I have done this when we were very young in our relationship. Some of the best times that we had in Walt Disney World were just walking around the resorts and talking as we were sort of getting to know each other more. It's we should do an entire episode on how to make a romantic evening out of the All-Star Resorts, because I've done it and it worked at least once. So.
Wow,
There's a lot going on in that comment. All right,
romance by the giant megaphones. Okay, there we go.
I'm telling you, if you've got the right spirit, any Walt Disney World resort can be a romantic stroll.
Jeff AZ made a good point, actually. He said that we talked about this backwards, which we sort of did with his comment, is that strategy we didn't mention, but we did backwards, is to go for the cheaper Lightning Lane multi-pass park in the morning and then use Park Hopper to then go to the more expensive one in the afternoon. So you burn through your three pre-books in the morning and then go to Magic Kingdom or Hollywood Studios in the afternoon to make a better use of the multi-pass without paying the upcharge.
Oh, so you would start at like Animal Kingdom or Epcot, because those are the 2 cheapest Lightning Lanes, and then go to Magic Kingdom or the studio. Oh, that's smart. Yeah. That's smart, Jeff. Yeah.
Well, again, this is our first mail show here. And again, not physical paper, email, social media. You get the idea. But we have so enjoyed hearing your folks' thoughts on the show. In fact, it's been lovely, the reception that the Case For with Chris Cox has received so far. We're, like that you like the show, and we'll continue on here. And but also want to remind you that, if you want to reach out, I can be reached in my chambers if you can send along a note to jim@jimhillmedia.com. Likewise, we're always monitoring social media, so if you want to send along a message there, your opinion could be featured on an upcoming episode of this podcast. And with that, Another session in these hallowed halls. The court of the Disney World Resort has come to a close, and my thanks to those of you who took time to write in about our previous episodes, and looking forward to the next show. On the next edition of The Case For with Chris Cox, we'll be turning our attention to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, with a specific emphasis on whether butterbeer is actually lives up to the hype. But until that episode, The Case For with Chris Cox is now closed. Thanks again to theme park expert Len Testa and master illusionist Chris Cox, mind reader as well, for all that they do to make this podcast actually possible. And with that, this court will be back in session soon.